Good evening and welcome to Spotlight. My name is Nwang Falong and you're watching MX24 television. The entire month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness, and today we are taking the conversation out of Accra. We're coming to you from the Tamale Teaching Hospital, the cancer unit specifically. Did you know that breast cancer is the most common cancer worldwide? Did you also know that breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer mortality among Ghanaian women? Why is this so? And how do we tackle this silent menace that is killing many Ghanaian women? Today we are speaking with Dr. Osman Imoro. He's a surgical resident at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. I'm also going to be speaking with Madam Evelyn Osei Amwa, who's a nurse here. She's been championing the cause for so many years. She's been involved in so many activities, and I'm going to be speaking to her to unravel the entire mystery and some of the myths behind breast cancer. We're also speaking with a survivor, very key in this interview, who is Madam Ruth Honu. She's a breast cancer survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you.
Let me go to the survivor first. Ruth, how are you doing now?
I'm good.
Right, you're fine. Do you have any pain presently?
No.
Okay. When did you first notice any changes in you, in your breast, that even led you to go to the hospital?
I was breastfeeding my boy. After 3 days time, and I feel that something is in my breast. So I have one of my sister in our house is a nurse. So I went to her. I tell her that I have something in my breast. I'm not feeling it. So I wanted to go to her to check it for me. So I went.
This was while you were breastfeeding?
Yes.
Wow.
I was breastfeeding 1 month, 8 months. So I went to her and he said I should lie down, and he checked it. I said okay. The following day you should come to hospital. So she bring me to the hospital. And we came, they checked it, they said maybe because I'm breastfeeding, it can be water or something. So I should wait for 3 months. The 3 months time, if I didn't see any improvement, I should come back. So me too, I'm checking it anytime. So the 3 months time, I came back. I told them that no, this thing I'm experiencing is not water, because the way the thing is disturbing me, I can feel that it's phantom.
Was there any pain then?
No, it's not paining me, but I can feel it that something is in my body. So
was it a lump?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lump. So I came. They said unless I did test. So they start the test and then send it to Lamashegu. 3 weeks time they called me and I came. I came and they said it's cancer.
When they informed you, were you expecting to hear something like that?
I'm not expecting anything like that. Well, it has come. We are women, so it has come. There's nothing I can do.
Before that, did you know anything about breast cancer?
I used to hear something like that, but I'm not expecting that to reach my breast like that, because I'm not expecting it. So, well, with God, everything is possible.
When you heard this diagnosis, what was your first reaction?
My first reaction, for God's truth, I told my nurse that I wanted to take medicine and die because I can't take it. And the way...
Wait, you wanted to kill yourself?
Yes. I wanted to kill myself. She said, wow, don't say that. That should be your first and last, and you say that.
Why did you want to kill yourself?
And upon all that, my husband is not around. He's in work, so I called my husband and informed her. I said, this is what they told me. So I wanted to take medicine. I said, who? Take medicine. and die. So if you die, who will take care of your children?
But Ruth, why did you want to kill yourself? Didn't you know this could be treated or something?
I for that moment, dear, only God, because I'm sure. And the way they talk about breast cancer can kill, can do this, to spend money, a lot of things. So I just said that maybe if I end it, my husband will use that money to take care of my children. And my husband asked me, you have 3 boys. I feel proud of those 3 boys. So anything I can do afford to take care of me, I will do it. And it's true. Everywhere I go, I thank God. First, I thank God, and the second is my husband. If my husband is not there, or if I don't have caring husband, I could have done by
support system.
Yes, my husband supports me anything. Money, prayers, encouragement, my children, everything. My husband.
Regina, let's Ruth, give me a minute. Let me get you some tissue.
Strap up. It's time for the plug. Right here on MX24.
Hello everyone, this is Mary France and I'm coming to you from MX24. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month and I'm entreating every single person to get their boobs checked, not just the ladies, the men as well. We have a series of activities lined up this month, including a competition in partnership with the Achimota Golf Club. We will be expecting as many people as can come in to help us raise funds to help a selected breast cancer charity. So join in and help us as we undertake this Cross It Out campaign as part of October Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Welcome back to Spotlight. My name is Noam Falong. We're coming to you from the Tamale Teaching Hospital. We're presently speaking with Dr. Imoro and a survivor of breast cancer, Ruth. Ruth got very emotional, so we took a quick break, but let's proceed with this. When you started coming to the hospital, what treatment did they offer you? What options did they give to you? What did the nurses say?
Before we start, I take chemo. From here, 6 chemo. And the course, or I take 6 after 6, and we did operation. After operation, they say, oh, then I'll go to Kumasi because the machine that they will use for me for radiotherapy is not here. So they give me letter to Kumasi. So I went to Kumasi to my second destiny. Yes.
Well, how was the cost when you were doing these things? Do you have health insurance?
As for breast cancer, if you have health insurance, it doesn't cover. From Tamale here, the time that I did chemo, every 3 weeks, we will go to lab. Lab will spend more than 2 million. That is 200 for the lab. After that, you come here and you pay 350. So every 3 weeks, we spend 55 a week.
What was it, 55?
That was 550
every week.
Yes, every week.
What about the chemo?
The chemo that I'm talking about.
Okay.
550 every 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I did it for 3 times, 6 months.
Okay. Wow. At the end of the 6 months, so 5,500 every 3 weeks. At the end of the 6 months, we are looking at about 6,000.
Yes.
How much money did you spend in total? Did you calculate?
For that one there, I didn't calculate it because we are spending the money without. You can count, they say something here, you buy it. But for that one, I can't say
because
that.
Apart from the chemo, you're paying for drugs,
yes.
You're paying for consultation,
yes.
And all of that. And you're saying that the health insurance didn't cover the chemo?
No. Health insurance doesn't cover.
Okay. And did you feel better when the treatment started?
Yes, I feel better a lot. I feel better.
Are you glad you came to the hospital?
Yes, I'm glad.
Are you glad you didn't kill yourself?
No. I'm glad I didn't kill myself because of my husband and my children and my life today.
When you look back before you found out about your situation, did you ever do any testing, any checking for breast cancer?
I used to do it, but not continuously.
What do you want to tell women your age, women who are breastfeeding, women who are younger than you, about breast cancer?
I wanted to tell them they should go to any clinic at their side to go and do breast clinic. Every 3 weeks or every 3 months they can go there and they will check it because the breast cancer is killing women in Ghana. So you have to get up and stop.
So you're still watching Spotlight on MX24 television. We just spoke with Ruth Honu, who is a survivor of this menace. She highlighted some interesting points. One of them being insurance did not cover a lot of her treatment, especially chemotherapy. She also mentioned that the Tamale hospital did not have certain machinery for her treatment when she needed it, and so she had to be referred to Kumasi. Now I'm going to the health professionals. We have Dr. Moro here, we have Madam Evelyn. But Dr. Moro, how true is this problem that she highlighted? Does insurance cover the treatment for breast cancer?
Thank you for this opportunity. It's really unfortunate, but it's really true that most of the drugs needed for our patients are not actually covered under our health insurance system. And the issue even goes beyond that. Aside the drugs, even how to make a diagnosis. For instances whereby you need to pick sample from the patient's breast to confirm whether it's really breast cancer and what type of breast cancer. The patients have had to look for money elsewhere and pay for all these things. Aside that, she rightly told you that they receive the medication in cycles, which means when the person comes for the next cycles, he needs to be assessed thoroughly and see whether she or he is fit for the chemotherapy, which means that a series of lab tests has to be conducted. All these are borne by the patient. To make the issue even more serious is that what she mentioned about Kumasi, the radiotherapy, the machine is not really here. And these treatments are actually time bound. When you finish with the medication which you are giving to the patient, what we call the chemotherapy, it means the patient has to be moved over there at a time frame. So the fact that they have to organize and mobilize money brings about so many delays, and recurrence are actually very high. So this means that before they can organize money to get to Kumasi for radiotherapy, then the situation can actually
sometimes it's too late.
So there is really so much negative impact on this particular aspect.
This is a teaching hospital. How old is this hospital? It's been here for many years, and you don't have machines for radiotherapy. This is serious.
We don't really have one.
And for the patients, when they come in, if they don't have money, what happens?
Okay, there is the social intervention, like the social service unit, that can at times render some few services to the patient. For instance, when some of them come for a workup to see how fit they are for the chemotherapy to start, there are some interventions. But those are only for the services run within this hospital. If assuming the patient need to get those services carried out outside this facility, it means the intervention from the social service unit will not go beyond the limit of this hospital. So it's still a very big challenge.
How many breast cancer patients do you see, let's say within a month or within 2 months?
The figures are actually so astonishing. For instance, we see in the range of 250 to 300 cases in total of all breast cases. And from these cases, I expect to 70 to 80% are really breast cancers. So the numbers are really huge. But that is not what is most devastating. It's about the advanced stage when they report. That is always the most devastating aspect of it. The patient comes and you can't do anything.
You advanced stage meaning what? What are the stages, first of all?
Okay. For the sake of our discussions here, there are so many stages for the health professional. But to those outside there, when you come very early, whereby the cancer is only limited to the breast, that is a very good thing for us. We are always so happy to receive those clients. But there are instances when someone arrives, there is already a big ulcer on the person's breast. The entire arm is swollen. Some of them even get here breathless because the cancer has gone all the way to the lungs and the chest and they can't breathe. Some come with abdominal distension. Some people, the first time they get it, they're already having an epileptic fit, a seizure, because of cancer has gone to the brain.
This is interesting because this morning when I got here, I noticed a patient in a wheelchair. She could not walk. So I was telling my colleague, it's breast cancer. How come she can't walk? Why she seems so incapacitated? Does it get that serious?
It's really a serious thing. Because when it is limited, we are always very fine. But at the advanced stage, you only give palliation, relieve pain, make the person comfortable. But you know the end result is inevitable.
At that stage, can there be a good intervention? Can the patient be cured?
No.
Wow. Within what time frame are you sure of, or some amount of survival if you come to the hospital? Say, maybe if I detected it within a month or 2 or 3, 1 year, what's the time frame that gives you a high chance of survival?
Really, I wouldn't give you a time frame because the cancer, they are of different kind. We call it the biology of the cancer itself. They are of different kind. Some are a bit aggressive and they spread very fast. So we don't really have a fixed time frame whereby you say when you come at this time frame you are going to be killed. It depends upon how fast your cancer grows. So for this, we encourage every lady to do breast examination. And the point is, those who are aware, that is the point. What about those who are not aware?
When you say breast examination, does it cost to do the breast examination?
Oh, this is just, even on your own, you can be educated to examine your breast most of the time.
What if I want to come to the hospital to screen my breast? Apart from breast cancer month, where we know that the screening is free to encourage people to come and screen, during regular working hours, is it free to screen?
When someone comes for the screening and he has self-insurance, just for the clinical examinations of the breast, which we do ourselves, we talk to the patient, ask relevant questions, and actually touch the breast to examine. They don't really pay anything.
Okay.
It is only when we examine and we're not satisfied, we then ask for them to go out and do some other investigation to confirm our suspicion.
Okay.
Then that's when the payment actually starts.
Interesting. Let me pull Madam Evelyn into the conversation. Madam Evelyn, I know, has been championing this breast cancer initiative for years. She has a wealth of information. She's worked with many people. Let me go, but briefly, do you ever see any men
Very
with
good.
breast cancer?
That is a very important question. We've seen men with advanced breast cancers.
You have seen men here with advanced cases of breast cancer.
As is, some have received chemotherapy, they've been cured. Even this very minute, I've got an advanced breast cancer in my ward, in a male.
Wow, wow, wow. This is something, because one of the things I've been telling people is that according to my research, 1 in 1,000 men get breast cancer. But during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you see men shouting, women should get checked, women should get... None of the men is thinking about getting checked. How important is it for men to come in, and how often should they come in to screen themselves?
It's really very important, because there are certain instances that when there is a family history of breast cancer among siblings, that's even when men are actually supposed to be at risk. So because of this,
genetics,
they have to be very serious with their breast examination. So we the men, we are equally at risk, even though it is most commonly in women. We must take the screening very serious.
How often should they check? Once a month, once in 6 months, once in 3 months? What is the advice?
For anybody without any risk factor, checking even once every 6 months is not bad.
Okay.
But if you have got important risk factors, then if there are even instances that they can make it once a year.
Okay.
Without any risk factor. But if there are risk factors, it's good to do regular screening, so that if there is anything suspicious, it can be picked up early, and the necessary intervention can be put in place.
Thank you, Dr. Imoro. Let me come to Madam Evelyn. So that's Dr. Osman Imoro. He's a resident here at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, and he was just giving us a bit of background into the breast cancer cases. And you heard him, men are at risk of developing breast cancer. In fact, he has patients here in the hospital right now who are men and in advanced stages of breast cancer. Evelyn Ose-Amwa is a nurse here at the hospital. She's also what I call an advocate, because she goes beyond her call and duty as a nurse to do more for the patients. It's actually through Evelyn that I even found out that there's a huge problem here in the Tamale Hospital where breast cancer is concerned. Now, Evelyn, give us the picture of breast cancer in Tamale Hospital.
Okay, so breast cancer cases have been reported over the years within the hospital. It actually started as far back as 2010. Cases of breast cancer were coming to the hospital. I actually got involved somewhere in 2013, and then I developed more passion, because I noticed that most of these women will come around, they are being diagnosed of the breast cancer. Those days we were really handicapped when it comes to managing the breast cancer. So as soon as we picked up the case, we want to refer the case to either Confanoche or Kolibu. And I remember most of the time, a woman will look at you and tell you they don't even have the money to travel. So they will prefer to go back home and die.
Oh.
Which was so sad.
For the money to even go to
Kumasi was so sad. And then by then we were really handicapped when it comes to even our medications to give to them, to take them through some of the process. But then I can say that for as the years goes by, I think we have really moved ahead. Our women can come here when they are even being referred to the other northern regions, to Tamale. We are able to diagnose them, going through all the necessary tests. They are able to receive all their chemotherapies here. We will do the mastectomy, and then, as it has been said previously, we don't have the radiotherapy machine here. So no matter how we move, we get to that point and we are stuck. So you will have to talk to this patient to be referred to either Confanoche or Kolibu. We notice that when our patients get there, especially coming from the north, going to the south, they get stranded and all that. And you know, in the south, they deal with the booking, strict booking system. So we notice that we give referral letter to our patients, go to Kumasi or go to Accra. The client gets there and now has to be booked and asked to come back to the north and then, yes, go back on the date of the appointment. So there's an extra cost. That's an extra cost. So now we have moved to the extent that we've had a very close relationship with Confanoche, with Kolebu Teaching Hospital. So when our patient is being referred from Tamale Teaching Hospital, what the staff of the breast clinic does is that we get your particulars ready, then we communicate with them. So if you are going to Confanoche or Kolebu, we communicate with them, send your documents to them earlier, then they will give us a date. So we know for sure that, let's say if a patient coming from Tamale Teaching Hospital is going on 19th October to, let's say, Confanoche, the very day the client arrives there will be attended to because the booking has been done already.
That makes it
easier. Yes, which I think it makes it easier, and then it makes our patients also very comfortable when we refer them.
Are the health staff here trained to use those radiotherapy machines?
Currently, we don't have any staff here trained for radiotherapy.
Okay, that's because you don't do it here.
Yes.
What would it take for Tamale Teaching Hospital to have a radiotherapy unit? Because it seems to be one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah. It takes a lot. And the first I would say is the building. The radiotherapy machine cannot be installed in just any building. They have certain measurements for the thickness of the wall because of the radiation. So before a radiotherapy machine will be set up here in Tamale Teaching Hospital, that building has to be put up.
Okay, so a specialized building before the machine
will even come.
It sounds like a lot of money.
Exactly.
So, is it possible to quantify it later so we can have an idea of what we're talking about? How many women are seen here daily? When I came, I saw that there are a lot of women outside. Yeah. You don't even have enough seats for them to sit on.
Exactly.
So at the end of the month, how many women are we looking at who walk through your doors?
At the end of the month, we can see about 330 to 350 clients within the month. And out of that, we can have about 45 to 50 of them being diagnosed of breast cancer. I can say on the fact that we run our clinics on Mondays and Thursdays, and there is not any Monday or Thursday that we will not have new diagnoses coming up.
Wow.
Every clinic we have new diagnoses coming up.
Where are these cases coming from? Is it the Tamale Township or the towns around Tamale? What is the composition?
We are serving the entire 5 northern regions. So we have clients coming from all over. There are some of them who probably heard from someone who go to the hospital, or they probably went to a facility and then the doctors will help us out by referring the clients to us. So I would say we are serving the entire 5 northern regions. And then there were some few cases where we had patients coming from Idra. It got to a time we had about 5 cases coming from Idra. So we're like, why are you not going to Kumasi? And they say they've heard of us and they would prefer to.
Because you have a reputation for dealing with them well. But if you see you're serving all the northern regions, so northern region here, Tamale, yes. Upper West region,
yes.
Upper East region,
yes, please.
Savannah,
yes.
5 regions.
All of them.
No radiotherapy.
No radiotherapy, no mammography machine.
Wow.
Yes.
This is a serious situation.
Yes.
And how are you able to, is there any form of counseling for these patients apart from the normal treatment? Because when we spoke to Ruth earlier, when she found out, she said she wanted to kill herself, yeah, because she thought it was over for her. She thought it would be too expensive and it would be maybe very aggressive. How do you talk to these people?
Okay, so there are some of them. At times you even have to take them on personal grounds. You take them as even friends, to let them go through the process that they have to go through. It takes a lot of talking to them. So there are some of them, you pick up their numbers, once in a while you check up on them, because you won't believe there are some people who will come, they are being told this and this is your diagnosis, you have breast cancer. They will go and they will not even want to come back. They don't want to even go through the treatment. So such clients, normally when they come to the clinic, we have their telephone numbers. So you will notice that, hey, this patient, it's been a while, you quickly call and check up on them. So at times we feel that our interpersonal relationship with them also helps them to feel at home, because a lot of them go through other issues. We talk to them, and then there are some of them, you can even pick it up. The problem is even coming from the home. So there are times you have to invite their partners over and talk to them. You talk to both of them. So that is how it is. Then there are times we introduce them to other patients who have gone through the process. So at times when you are talking to somebody, what the person, you have not gone through what the person is going through. So at times, yes, the person will not see you as you understand what she's going through. But however, if you introduce him or her to a patient who has gone through the process and they start sharing ideas, it helps them relax a lot, because I have also gone through what you are about to go through, and this helps most of them.
You say they go and they don't come back, and some of them is because they can't afford the treatment. Is this largely rural women or urban women?
We largely here for us, we have the rural.
Okay.
More.
So it's more of rural women.
Yes.
And why do you think there's such a high incidence of breast cancer among these women?
You can't really tell. I will say that our numbers really even increased at our clinic after our breast cancer awareness program last year, October.
So through all these awareness creation, the outreach you've been doing, what has the reception been like from the people of Tamale and its environment?
I think it is well received here, and because
especially since you're seeing an increase in the numbers.
Yes, because last year, for instance, when we were organizing the Pink October, our target was to screen 1,000 people.
Okay.
At the end of the month, we screened 3,037 people. So that should tell you that the people really accepted what we were doing, and they also came out in their numbers to get screened.
Who do you partner with? You know, because I'm looking at all these activities, someone has to pay for it.
Yes.
You're going around, you're using airtime, you're using a lot of stuff, you're doing screenings, you're attending to patients. Who's taking care of the bills?
Okay, so the hospital really supported the entire program.
Okay.
There we have Rock Chemist in Accra. They also supported us. We have some friends in Tamale, they are called Savannah Business Group. We just sent a proposal to them, and they also came in to support us. We have written letters to other organizations. I don't want to mention names.
Yes.
We hope that they will come to our aid, and there are some chiefs coming up also to support us. They are yet to.
And I understand that Yana is supporting you this.
Yes, Yana is the chairperson of our program. Yes, and he wants us to be part of the Damba Festival, which will be coming up very soon. Yes.
What kind of help are you open to? If people are listening, what kind of people do you want to partner with you or support you, and what ways can they help?
Ways they can help, we have a team that moves around. They need to be fed. They need to drink water. Yes. And then another major thing too is that when we go out there and you even pick up the cases, the screening modality becomes a huge challenge, especially our ultrasound. The hospital has the ultrasound machine, but there are times when the pressure becomes too much, it breaks down. Where do we turn to? We don't have a mammography machine within the northern region. And this is a screening modality for every woman who is above the age of 40 years. So when a woman comes at the age of 40 years, you don't have a screening modality for her, aside you doing your physical examination. So there are some of them who may have to write, and then they will go as far as Kumasi to go and take this mammogram, and then bring us the results. So if a company wants to help us with the mammography, yes, so many ways. But I think the mammography machine, biopsy needles, which we use to take the specimen to send it for the histopathology, it will be of much help to us.
What led you to take up all this work, Evelyn?
I think it is for humanity, because I have come into contact with women who had this condition and had no idea what they were having. I have come across women who have passed on because of this condition. There are some of them, they didn't need to. I think if they knew it, they would have lived longer. A woman being diagnosed with breast cancer distorts the family. Because if she is down, who takes care of the children? You will notice that most children are very close to their mothers. So they're seeing their mothers going through this pain. I remember I visited one patient and she had sore all over. She was just at the late stage, and her daughter, her only daughter, was just all over this woman on the bed. They lived in one room. So I asked myself, if this woman goes, what happens to this girl? Seeing her mother go through this pain. So I think out of passion, out of empathy, we have to do this for humanity. It's a fight that we all need to join, because we believe that if we spread the information and breast cancer cases are being detected early, our women can be killed.
Early detection saves lives. On that note, you are listening to Spotlight on MX24 television. You heard from Evelyn Oseamoa. She's one of the nurses here. She's also a strong advocate for breast cancer. She says early detection saves lives. And the major needs of the hospital here, Tamale Teaching Hospital, it says the 5 northern regions, they have no mammogram, they have no radiotherapy unit. You can imagine the extent of the stress they go through to be able to care for breast cancer patients without these key equipment. My name is Norm Falon, and this is Spotlight. You have listened to the issues, you have heard from a patient. If there's any way in which you can help, please get in touch. We'll put you right in touch with Dr. Imoro. We'll put you in touch with Nurse Evelyn. There are so many ways in which you can contribute to the fight against breast cancer. Also remember on social media to cross it out with MX24 television, the hashtag cross it out. We have partner hospitals where you can go and check yourself. If you are in Tamale or in any of the northern regions and you can make it to the Tamale Teaching Hospital, they are offering free screenings. If you're confused, come to the 4th floor of the Tamale Hospital, ask for Nurse Evelyn, and then pour your problems on her, and she'll find the best way to help you. We've also partnered with Focus Orthopedic Hospital. They are in Pantine, Adenta, or that road. Go there and get your breast checked for free. Take a picture of yourself or your chit after screening, post it on social media, hashtag cross it out. We'll be giving out a lot of fantastic prizes at the end of October. My name is Norm Falon. On behalf of the entire production team here at MX24, we've had Washid on the camera. Thank you so much. We are grateful for your time. Good evening.